Dear students, today we want to discuss letter writing for O-level students. Letters were part and parcel since ancient time. In those days, the medium was different. People used to send their letters through pigeons, and there is a special type of pigeons called Homer, and that pigeon took those royal letters and traveled to long distances. So nowadays, these letters have been changed. They have now currently emails have taken its place. So letters are also present in the modern age. When we apply for job, we are in need of cover letters. When businessmen send letters, they also send and receive shipment letters, business letters, complaint letters. When HR hires a person, they give offer letters, and sometimes a person's services are not required anymore. They send a termination letter to the person, and sometimes the employee resign, and that is called the resign letters. So now the channel has changed, but letters are still present, and it will stay with human beings forever. That's why it is essential that we should know how to write letter. First of all, we classify letters into three types: formal letters, semi formal letters, and informal letters. You can keep in mind your relationship. Suppose you have formal relation with someone, so you will write a formal letter. For instance, you are writing a letter to the bank manager, that's a formal letter. You are writing a letter to your employer, that's a formal letter. You are writing a letter to government employees or government officials, that would be a formal letter. Informal letter, you with those people you are behaving informally. For instance, your class fellows, your close friends, and you have informal relationship with them, so you will write informal letters. And between these two extremes, there is a semi formal letter with whom you have some acquaintance, and you write semi formal letters. General instructions for writing letters: that language should be academic. Academic language means that there should be transitional words and correct spellings. There must be consistency, and the salutation should be very respectful. No contradiction, and no contractions should be used. It means like don't, doesn't, FN, fine, or SMS language, romanized language, they should not be used. Abbreviations should not be used. If you feel that it is essential to mention abbreviations, first of all write the full name, then write in parenthesis that abbreviation, and afterwards you are allowed to use that abbreviation. Never use slangs, even in informal letters. Divide your letters into 3 to 4 paragraphs. Usually, letters have 3 paragraphs: introduction, problem, solution, and invitation to action, and the conclusion of that letter. O level letter has certain uh, parts. First of all, you write address, you address the person, dear sir or dear madam. Then write the subject, one line summary. Subject mean topic of the letter. Then you start introduction, introduction of the letter, introduction of the issue. Then body points. Body points mean there are 3 points which have been mentioned in your question paper. They are called body parts, and they are very important, and they are the largest part because they cover 15 marks. An examiner minutely examines whether you have incorporated all these points separately in separate paragraphs. If you skip them, obviously your marks will be deducted. And the last paragraph would be the concluding paragraph. In letters, salutation and closings are very important. Salutation mean how do you salute, how do you greet the other person. And formal, informal, and semi-formal, they have different salutation and closing styles. Formal letter salutation starts "Dear Sir or Madam" and closing is "Yours faithfully." Semi-formal "Dear Mr. Ehsan" and closing is "Yours sincerely." In informal letters, you will address the person by name, "Dear Amir," and the closing is "Best regards." So, before writing a letter, clarify your idea that whether you are writing formal letter, informal, or semi-formal. Marking criteria for directed writing in O level. Language carries 15 marks. Language means accuracy of language, spellings, variety of vocabulary, different types of sentence structure, punctuation marks, all are included in language marks. Even vocabulary. Have you used childish vocabulary or have you used advanced level vocabulary? There are also sentence structures. I will recommend that use compound and complex sentences frequently, while simple sentences should be very rare in your letters. And a paragraph structure is also very important. In paragraph structure, though we have a separate video on how to write a good paragraph, first sentence should be topic sentence, then 6, 7 sentences, or 5 sentences, or 4 sentences can be the supporting evidence. Then the last sentence should be the concluding sentence. Task fulfillment marks. It means the task which has been assigned to you through your question, through your exam question. Usually there are 3 points, and whether you have followed those points or not. 15 marks are assigned to those 3 points. And the length of the letter should be 300 words. So quality and quantity has been described in this slide. Now look at the task of O-level exam. You return to your house one day to find it has been broken into and many of your possessions have been stolen. You decide to write a letter to the police to report the robbery. Write your letter, you must include the following. Number one, at what time and for how long you were away from the house when the robbery took place. Secondly, detailed information about the most valuable items taken. Number three, any clues you have noticed and how you think the police might be able to catch the thieves. Cover all 3 points in detail. These 3 points are very important. Make sure that your letter is informative and helpful for the police. Start your letter with "Dear Sirs" and make sure to provide a suitable ending. This word is "Dear Sirs." Okay. Now we find solution of that question. Subject: robbery and vandalism at my place. My name is Ayan Umair. I'm writing to report a robbery that took place on 20th September. On the day in question, I was shopping in the market between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. When I returned to my house, I found out that the door was broken and the furniture inside was mostly missing and the remaining untidy. I immediately checked the entire house and unfortunately, I found out that some valuable items were long gone. I pondered over for some time and I found that the items that were stolen included a diamond bracelet and a silver watch. The silver watch is made up of pure 925 silver and the diameter of the watch is 2 centimeter with Roman numerals making the numbers. The bracelet is a simple gold bangle and it has diamonds engraved at its perimeter. Furthermore, I noticed that some fingerprints on my bedroom mirror, a piece of red cloth fairly untidy caught in the door handle was also found indicating that the thieves were in a hurry. Moreover, There were footprints in my garden as well. I believe that you might be able to trace the robbers by viewing the CCTV cameras in the town. You may also visit the nearby jewelry shops to find out whether the bracelet is sold or not. To conclude, I hope that you can quickly solve the robbery case and locate my belongings at the earliest. I will help you in any way I can. You can contact me on my cell number and even can pay a visit to the address that is mentioned at the back of the envelope this letter came with. Thank you. Cordially, name, signature, and date. I'm going to share a previous paper question, and you should attempt this question, and it would be a good practice for you. Recently, two of your relatives who lived abroad came to stay with your family for a week. This was a very happy event for everyone. You decide to write to your aunt who lives in another city to tell her about this visit. Write your letter. You must include the following: who the relatives are and when they came to visit. Details about what you and your relatives did together during the visit. What your relatives enjoyed most about their visit and why. Cover all 3 points above in detail. You should make your letter interesting and informative. Start your letter Dear Aunt and remember to supply an appropriate ending. In 2019, this question was set. I'm here to assist you in training, tutoring, editing, translating. So you can contact me. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please feel free to ask.